We have heard a lot about dealing with your mental health during the pandemic, but what about your sexual well-being? Stress and libido are closely linked. Naturopathic doctor and sexologist Jordin Wiggins joins us with more. Good morning.
Hi, Annette. Thanks for having me.
This is going to be, we're going to talk about something that we rarely talk about, pleasure, and the fact that it's not bad. In fact, it's very, very good for us.
That's one of the things that I'm telling the women that I work with all the time is that pleasure is not a bad word, and we need to start having these conversations because just by having them, it can increase our interest in sex by about 20%.
And having more sex, whether it's with a partner or not, just releasing those feelings, has such an effect on your mental health.
It does. We see that stress, and we've really seen this with the pandemic, can reduce our interest by about 80 to 90% in intimacy. And the reason is a hormone, cortisol, puts us in a fight or flight state. So our brain is not even registering any signals, any advances that our partner may be giving us. It's just like, oh, get away from me, one more thing on the to-do list. So it's really important that we focus on having time to connect with our partners. Because if we're stressed all the time and then it creates relationship strain and it just becomes this snowball that we're adding stress to our relationship instead of taking it away.
Right. But how do you do this in a condition in the pandemic where maybe you've lost your job or about to lose your job, or you're working from home and your partner's also working from home and you're getting on each other's nerves? Like, how does this work?
I recommend scheduling intimacy dates, and this is something where we want to try and remove as many stressors as possible. And even if this is half an hour to put phones away, make a meal together, maybe after kids are in bed or putting them on tablets, but just time where you can look into your partner's eyes, hold their hand, give them a hug that lasts longer than 20 seconds, because that is going to release happy hormones, the opposite of stress hormones. And it's going to really reignite that spark. And none of that stuff costs money, or you just need a little extra time. But making sure to put it on the calendar, because if, life's so busy and we all have so much extra on our plates these days that if it's not scheduled, it's probably not going to happen.
And we're also like focused on screens or when's that next email coming, that kind of thing, right? So it's just, because before we would go out on dates, but you can't go out anymore.
I know, we miss it. We miss being able to go out for dinner. But yeah, trying to recreate that experience at home. Last week I ordered some non-alcoholic spirits online to do a date night just because it felt a little bit more special than just, okay, great, it's dinner, what are we going to make?
Okay. You also hold online seminars for women. I assume they're just for women. Maybe they're for men as well.
They are just for women. I have an online community called the Pleasure Mindset Boot Camp, and actually research proven, just talking about these things, talking about these issues, normalizing the fact that stress really does decrease our desire, improves how we feel about it. So we're holding a free boot camp now, actually, which you can find on Facebook, the Pleasure Mindset Boot Camp. And the experience that women have is amazing just by chatting about it with other women going through the same thing.
Right, and finding out that, yes, other women are going through the same thing, right? Okay, so we'll get the link up on our website then at chch.com. Jordin, great talking with you today.
Thanks, Annette.